everybody, welcome back to yet another episode of EventSpeak with me, Big John, CEO of Beyond Experiential. By now, you already know what we do here, and if you don't, I'll tell you. EventSpeak is a visual resource directory. We are a virtual network, a digital hub of the all-encompassing event industry ecosystem. We have been connecting folks for quite some time. You may remember us from back in the day, but the resurgence of EventSpeak with this new waters that we're navigating as an industry in COVID life, and of course, post-COVID life, has given us a need to be united and solidarity more than ever before. We've been talking with all kinds of different folks and professionals on the show from day one, and really encompassing just about every part of it, not just, of course, brand development and experiential marketing, but spanning really the entire ecosystem, as I said. Today's guest is a friend of mine. We've worked together in the racing circuit back in the day. She is a recent college graduate. She has been a playmate. She's a social media influencer, and she is an incredibly rad person. I call her the unmodel, even though she's a fabulous model, amongst many other things. My dear friend, Devin Bender. Welcome to the show, Devin. How you doing?
Hey, John. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for coming by. How have you been?
I've been great. Just living post-grad life and COVID life at the same time.
So let's start with that. So you just graduated, as we were talking off camera a little bit, not quite the way you had hoped, but where'd you graduate from? When'd you get your degree in, and what was a digital ceremony like for you?
So I graduated from Florida State University with a degree in marketing, business marketing. So hoping to go into marketing or sales, event marketing, all that stuff that, you know, I'm in with you. So I graduated a month ago, and now I'm just job searching and using social media, my social media platform, to get my name out there and network as much as I can. So that's how it's going right now.
Awesome. Awesome. And you are, an influencer. Close to 100,000 people following you on Instagram now. Tell me a little bit about how did you plan that, or was it something that just kind of got some momentum and inertia behind it and you sort of crafted it from there? How did you get to become a social media influencer?
So we're going to probably talk about this in further in the interview, but I got most of my following from when I did Playboy about 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. So I got most of my following from that. And then from there, it kind of just increased rapidly. So now it's still growing. I'm working with brands right now. Recently, I did a partnership with a non-paid partnership, just helping with COVID relief. So like hats, shirts, just friends who reached out to me. So I've been doing that right now to help with COVID relief. And I've just been doing some influencer stuff with some companies and brands on social media. And that's how my following continues to increase. So it's going great. I didn't really expect it at all. When I got to college, I probably had, 8,000, not even. So it's grown over the last 4 years, almost by 90,000, which is great.
That's incredible. Exponential growth there. And let's talk about Playboy for a minute. I mean, an iconic brand that we don't hear as much of now, but nonetheless, it's really quite a staple in our culture, if you will. How did that come to fruition for you? And briefly, what was that experience like?
It was such a great experience. I had a great time doing it. The people that I worked with were great. They make you feel comfortable. They make you feel empowering. So the whole point of that was it was a college girl edition. And basically it was just showing how someone like a woman could have a college degree and still pose in Playboy. And, you can do whatever you want, whatever you set your mind to. But so that I wasn't planning that either, and I just saw online college girl edition, apply, sent in some photos, wasn't expecting anything of it. I'm like, whatever, I'll just give it a try. And then they got back to me and wanted more photos, and it all went great from there. So that was a great experience for me. I think it really, that is like my base now, where I can tell people, like, you just need to try. You need to give it a try. It won't hurt to try. Give it your all. And if it happens, it happens. If not, at least you tried. So that's like where I go from that. And then also it's just, I can have a college degree and still, model and do all these things. It doesn't mean that I have to stick to, that go to college, get a job, work from 9 to 5. You can do all these things that you want to do and still have that education and have that experience.
I think that is the near epitome of female empowerment, Devin. And I think that's awesome. And I agree. I mean, I always have told people that if you don't ask, the question is always no. I love that you essentially went through the front door and made it into Playboy. That's really quite impressive. So in your Playboy profile, there's a favorite quote by Jay Sterling. It says, reveals even more about you that I thought was interesting. It says, the older you get, the more you realize that it isn't about the material things or pride or ego. It's about our hearts and who they beat for. So tell me, in short, who does your heart beat for? Not just, your loved ones, but like, what are you most passionate about?
Well, obviously my loved ones, but I'm most passionate about just, I always say this, I'm not very religious as a person, which, hate me for it, love me for it. I don't know. I don't care. But so I just look at life like you need to live life and be nice to people and do the best thing for everyone and for yourself. So my heart beats for the people that help me live a life like that, who make me happy every day, being healthy, having a healthy lifestyle, all that stuff that comes into like living a happy life and being able to give your happiness to other people.
Well said. Happiness is something that I think a lot of people, they look for like it's an external destination, when it's clearly something that is, it's something inside of us. I always say that happiness is the journey, not the destination. Especially now in these times that we live in, where there's, clearly now we're getting past the initial wave of COVID, and I think folks are clearly relaxed a lot more, and a lot of the fear has gone away that we were probably all experiencing a couple months ago, when there was just unprecedented measures taking place, and it felt like we're living in some sort of Hollywood movie, But with on a footnote to what we were just saying about passion and how you kind of apply that to your everyday life, and what you get out of life is what you put into it, which I agree with 100%. I feel like a lot of people can get lost in their social media. You find yourself, I mean, I know sometimes I don't like put my phone down when I'm not working on it, because it's in your hand, and you're absorbing all of this. How would you advise young people to keep a healthy balance? You're very healthy, you got a healthy lifestyle, you're vibrant. How would you advise young folks to find that balance and not spending too much time on their social platforms?
Well, first I want to say that it affects everyone. I mean, it even affects me. Like, sometimes I'll go on there and I'd be like yesterday I posted a picture and I was smiling. It was a cute photo. And I was like, wow, I'm not getting as many likes on this, but like, likes don't matter. I don't know why I care about that. So, I mean, it like affects everyone. It's not just, people who have 5,000 followers compared to me who has 95,000. Like, I mean, I still get intimidated. I'm like, wow, I'm not getting likes on this. Should I delete it? Like, double thinking myself. Like, so first I want to say that likes don't matter. Comments don't matter. Post what you want to post. Like, that's you. That's how you want to represent yourself, and you should be happy with it. Second, I think I would say that you should use your Instagram in a way that you can show what you're passionate about. Not just to compare yourself to others, which I think is what a lot of younger kids are doing right now. They're comparing themselves to these people who have like thousands of followers, and, TikTok, the famous TikTok girl who can dance, and, all these people that they're comparing themselves to. So I would say that my advice is to use it in a way to show who you are and not compare yourself to others.
So it's a good thing to perhaps have some, role models in. So with that being said, you clearly could be a role model to many young folks and young women in particular that are looking to explore what that might look like for them. Now, let me just ask you this then. So in that realm, do you have anybody that you consider to be role models that you look up to and you keep kind of close tabs on in the digital capacity?
Oh, I have a few, but Olivia Culpo is like, I love her. I love her posts. She's like my example of, she just posts like fun stuff. She posts like what she does on her everyday life. She's posts happy photos, and she posts real photos about how she was feeling down. Like a few months ago, she posted a photo about how she was like depressed and she wasn't feeling herself. And, she would just post real content and people can relate to that, but they're not like constantly just comparing themselves to her because she makes them relate to her as well. So she's definitely one of mine. And then I have a bunch of fitness girls that I love to follow, just because I want to get the booty, I got all the saves of their booty workouts.
Yes, I understand. That makes sense. And with booty workouts and people to follow online, I think it's great that you take a very healthy attitude towards it. And I've said this to you before, and I say this up front, and no disrespect to any models out there, but I've always felt you were a very unmodel, if you will, Devin, just because my family would say you were raised right. You got a good head on your shoulders, and I've always admired that about you, because part of, I feel like, in the brand marketing business, when you have someone, a beautiful person, a beautiful woman as you are, you can sometimes almost be standoffish to, not standoffish, but people could be standoffish. Men could be intimidated sometimes to approach those types of girls, just because it's like seeing something you see in a magazine or on a computer screen come to life. So when you have someone like yourself that's articulate and warm and approachable, and I've worked with you before when we were out in the Continental racing circuit with IMSA a couple of years ago, and managed you for that matter. Like, you were exceptional, and I think that's great that you carry that over to kind of put that out there to the young people that might follow you on social media. That is important, because I think we live in an age where the social media is kind of what, in my generation, grew up watching people on TV, where I think you're going to have more this generation, your generation, that are looking at folks that are the influencers on socials like yourself. So I'm just curious, can you offer any insights on brands who've approached you because of your high profile and the large number of followers you have? You just mentioned you just did something recently, but I would imagine you get approached by brands to perhaps represent them.
Yeah, recently I've been approached by, I'm working with Manscaped, which is probably perfect for my audience. I'm sure you've seen like the
I've seen it all over socials. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, it says your balls will thank you. Like, so funny. I love it. So they approached me, which is great. I have a male dominated audience, so from Playboy and all of that, and then so that's one. And then I've also worked with like online casinos from New Jersey, because I'm from New Jersey, so it's legal to gamble online there, so I can market to my New Jersey audience. So I did one with them too. Let me think. I have some like fitness yoga pants stuff that I do. That's 90 degree. I always promote for them. Like, I've been wearing their clothes for like years and reached out to them and, wanted to partner because I love their product so much, which is another thing that I always preach. I want to promote products that I actually use and I actually like. I mean, it is, people want to make money, but it also is important to, use what you preach and use the products that you're promoting to these people. So I think that's very important. So that's one that I've actually worked with for a year or so now. And I don't do it paid because I actually just like their leggings and I want to promote brands that I love. So that's one that I'm with right now. And then I also just partner with local businesses like meal prep companies, the Garden Medical Spas in New Jersey. They're another one I partner with. So just, I have a bunch of, I always try to help out when I can, even if it's a free promotion, because it's not always all about money,
Absolutely. No, 100%. I think that it's important to be passionate about the brands that you work with. And for a lot of people that might be watching that are just getting into the business, listen, you've got to take the paying jobs where you can get them. But at the same time, when you truly relate to a product or a service, and you utilize it in your everyday life, that's something that you can really, that people are going to buy that kind of a thing. They're going to buy it from you. When you're talking about it, it doesn't sound like a pitch. You're like, I use this, I'm passionate about it. And you're absolutely right. I mean, money is, of course, the ultimate scale of success in our country, which I don't necessarily agree with, because I really believe that if a person is successful, meaning that they're happy in their life and they're contributing value into what they're doing and creating value in what they're doing personally and professionally on and off the field, I would challenge you to find any of those folks that are probably strapped for cash. All of them are doing well, because there are plenty of people I know that are extraordinarily wealthy and very unsuccessful just from the way that they live their lives. I think now more than ever with COVID, we've been reminded that we have to be focused on value creation. We have to be more centered on each other and less on consumerism and mechanism, which is something that I feel like isn't, obviously the United States is the only country in the world that's fallen prey to that, but especially here where capitalism reigns king, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. With that said, I haven't asked you this, but I'm going to spring it on you anyways. Maybe it's a secret, maybe it's not, but I happen to know that you're very passionate about chicken wings. So I'd like to know, what are your favorite wings and where do you get them from?
Okay. Oh, this is hard, but I have favorite wings because I get them every time I go out to eat.
Say that again. Oh, you love wings. Yes, I know you do.
Every time I go out to eat. But okay. I think that I'm gonna say my favorite wings are in. Okay, can I say two? I'm gonna say two.
I'll give you two.
All right, in New Jersey, the first one is Palermo's Pizza in Williamstown, New Jersey, and it's just a little pizza shop, and they have the best mild and hot wings. And then my other favorite is Golden Nugget. It's like little dive bar in Atco, I don't know, like a small town in New Jersey, and they have the best wings as well. So those are my two favorites from home. Here in Florida, I don't know, they need to step up their wing game here. So
wing game's a bit lacking in Florida, is it?
Yeah, they gotta step it up here. So I'm still trying to find my favorite in Florida.
Well, hey, Florida businesses out there that make wings, you hear the lady talking. Time to step up your game. It reminds me of actually, we were one of the first races you and I worked on together for Continental. We were all doing like some team fellowship afterwards, and I remember it was one of the other girls, yourself, me, and some of the other Conti team, and we went to some place where we sat out by the water, and everyone's ordering food, and I'm looking at you girls, and I'm like, they're gonna get salads. I know they're modeling, blah blah blah. And you just ordered your like chicken wings, some cocktails. You're like, come on, Big John, you can roll up your sleeves and get dirty with me. I'm like, I like this girl. We're gonna get along just fine.
So, what's that? Sebring or Sebring? Watkins Glen? No,
it might have been Sebring. That whole season of 2018 just sort of runs together for me. But that was something that for me, all the years I've been doing experiential, I've never been close to the racing scene, so it was really kind of exciting to get into that and to experience it, and you start to understand like why people are so just like almost like cultish about it, like they're super passionate about it. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I've really learned to appreciate, and as that was, of course, Conti's last year sponsoring him. So I felt like we were lucky to be part of it. So,
Definitely.
you know, Devin, it's just such a pleasure to talk with you. And I want to wish you a sincere congratulations on graduating on behalf of myself and everyone here at EventSpeak. Please, by all means, know you're always welcome to come back and talk with us. And for anybody watching out there, we get a lot of folks that are hiring managers, HR people, agency people. Devin is fantastic. You can find her here on EventSpeak. What is your handle on EventSpeak, Devin?
I think it's just Devin Bender.
Just Devin Bender. And that is also your Instagram as well, correct?
My Instagram's Dev Bender.
Dev Bender. So
yeah.
Dev, as we all call you, B-E-N-D-E-R. You can find her on Instagram. And, of course, at EventSpeak, which is where we're at now. Devin, thank you so much for coming by the show, and wishing you the very best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, that wraps it up for yet another episode of EventSpeak with me, Big John. You already know where we're at www.eventspeak.com. We have a lot of great episodes coming up, and we really do appreciate all the support we're getting from all of you out there. And please, until next time, remember to take care of yourselves and each other.